for directions.
Radio 66 and 1019 FM WFAN New York.
Now we go to the top of the second. Here's the Yankees' hottest hitter, Brian McCann. He's batting cleanup. Teixeira gets the night off. McCann, in his last 6 games, is 8 for 19. He's also hit a few home runs. Hit one last night. He's a left-hand hitter. And the right-hander, Sonny Gray Deal, swung on and lined at deep center field. Back goes Burns, and he makes the catch as he headed a little bit toward left center. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And the scoreboard update brought to you by
Batting in the 5th position, right fielder.
Your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. One final in Baltimore. J.J. Hardy's walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 9th gives Baltimore a 2-1 lead, a 2-1 victory over Tampa Bay. Darren O'Day gets the win. Brandon Gomes takes the loss.
Carlos Beltran fouls the ball up, third base side. McCann was at 254, 7 homers, 31 RBIs. Beltran at 238, 3 homers and 18 RBIs. With this lineup, with Teixeira out, Ellsbury out, pitch is low. I have to let Susan do the scoreboard, but the Yankee batting averages from Beltran on down are abysmal. It's very tough to win that way. You'll hear the batting averages. I'll give them as they come up. Pitch to Beltran, hit hard to the second baseman in right field, and Zobrist throws to first for the second out.
Texas is leading Boston 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Josh Hamilton's homers number 1 and number 2. The first 2 with bats. He hit homers both times off the knuckleballer Stephen Wright. Giovanni Gallardo started the game for Texas. They're in the bottom of the 6th in Houston. White Sox leading Houston 2-1. All tied up in Minnesota, Toronto and Minnesota, bottom of the 4th, 4 apiece. Josh Donaldson, a 3-run shot, his 14th homer. That was in the top of the 5th.
Now here's Garrett Jones. He takes a strike. Left-hand hitter. Jones is 12 for 51 with a homer, 4 RBIs.
Detroit and the Angels in a couple of minutes, just underway. Anibal Sanchez against Hector Santiago, and Cleveland is in Seattle. Trevor Bauer against Taijuan Walker.
There's a breaking ball low. So the count 1-1 on Jones. 2 outs, no one on. Top of the second, no score.
Kansas City beat the Cubs 8-4. Alcides Escobar, Alex Gordon, and Salvi Perez all homered for KC.
Jones cuts and misses. And the count 1-2.
It was a bullpen game. Kelvin Herrera gets the win. Pedro Strop takes the loss. Final out of Philadelphia. Colorado beat the Phillies 4-1. Cody Ashley base hit broke up the Chad Bettis no-hit bid in the 8th inning.
1-2 is cut on a miss. There's that slider that went straight down like a splitter. The Jones strikes out. The throw to first. The putout goes 2-3. And Susan will finish the scoreboard in the bottom half of the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Second strikeout for Gray at the end of an inning and a half, no score. On the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, here we go to the bottom of the hitter, the DH, Billy Butler. He's a right-hand hitter. And Capuano deals, and there's the strike.
We'll finish up with the scoreboard. Miami beat the Mets 4-3. Dan Herron gets the win. Matt Harvey takes the loss. Final in Cincinnati. The Reds beat Washington 5-2.
Now here's the 0-1, and Butler takes low.
Joey Votto and Todd Frazier both hit home runs for Cincinnati. All tied up 4 apiece in Milwaukee, Arizona, and the Brewers. They are in the top of the 7th. St. Louis leads the Dodgers 2-0, bottom of the 7th.
Here's Capuano's 1-1, and it's low inside. Butler at 259, 4 homers, 24 RBIs.
And just underway, Pittsburgh is at San Diego. Francisco Liriano against James Shields.
Now Capuano deals, and the pitch low, 3-1 to Butler. When Cappy struck out Zobrist to end the first inning, That was Capuano's first strikeout of the game. Winthrop University Hospital reminds you they strike out cancer with their cyber knife technology. Winthrop University Hospital, your health means everything. The 3-1. Swinging, and he lined it hard but foul down the left field line on the count 3-2.
Yeah, interesting. If you heard Ray Fosse on pregame, he said when Billy Butler signed here, he thought he was going to be hitting in between Brandon Moss and Josh Donaldson. And they're both gone. He's left all by himself.
Which would make a person very lonely.
Yes.
Now here's the payoff pitch to Butler, and it is high, ball 4. So Butler draws Cappy's first walk. This is Capuano's third start. And he's 0-2 with an ERA of 7.36. I won't bother to give you the numbers. But you have to let a guy settle in, but then you wonder how long will they wait for him to settle in. But this would give a good indication tonight. This is not a great team. And, they want Capuano to give him a chance to win. 6 innings, 3 runs, that kind of thing. I mean, I get 3 runs off Sonny Gray. That's the problem. Here's the left-hand hitting Stephen Vogt, and he takes a breaking ball strike. Vogt at .317, 10 homers and 33 RBIs.
The last time out, Capuano went 4 1/3, giving up 2 earned runs on 8 hits, 1 homer, and 4 strikeouts. Not terrible, but you got to hit. He's not going to throw a shutout. That isn't who he is.
And he'll deal 0-1 to Vogt. First to throw to first. Butler does not run at all. There are 3 infielders on the right side. Now Capuano deals, and it's grounded to first. Jones will take the bag. On to second goes Butler. It's a 3 unassisted. Jones didn't have a chance. The ball was too slowly hit. However, Oakland has a runner in scoring position. Here's Brett Laurie.
Third baseman, number 15, Brett Laurie.
Laurie at .266, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit them at geico.com. Laurie had a 2-run home run last night. That was a big blow in the game. Yankees at one point had a 3-0 lead. Laurie, a right-hand hitter. And unfortunately for Laurie, who's not a bad player, been injured a lot, but he's being compared to Donaldson, for whom he was traded, and Donaldson's having another big year. Butler off second with 1 out. The pitch is low on the count, 1-0.
Samsung Yankees trivia brought to you by the Samsung Curved SUHD TV, available at Adorama and Adorama.com. Name the 3 players who started the All-Star game for both the Yankees and the Oakland A's.
At different times, I guess.
I would think.
The pitch is a strike from Capuano. He threw a fastball on the inner half at about 88. We're scoreless, bottom of the second inning. Tampa has lost. Baltimore beat them in 9, as Susan told you, 2-1. So if the Yankees win, they'll go to 2 games up, which I find amazing. Pitch is a strike. It's not fair to tell you which one. But a Yankee, I like the players who are involved, know where you are in a pennant race, etc. And one of the Yankees said to me, after losing 10 out of 11, pretty amazing we're in first place.
Yeah. It is.
I like that. I want people to, The pitch is caught on and missed. There's a little slider inside to strike out Laurie 2-away.
Laurie still has a little bit of that temper, shaking his head, and he screams.
Right fielder, number 22.
He's as intense a player as there always was.
As you can probably hear, the PA system here is world class. They have a woofer and a tweeter. Whoa. So it's a good idea, though. Here is a left-handed hitter, Josh Reddick. And he fouls it on the ground outside of first. It's a good thing to, get your broadcast out to, the general area. So here, the PA system, just open up your window anywhere in the East Bay and you can hear him fine. Know exactly what's going on. Reddick is hitting at 300 with 7 homers, 30 RBIs. Lefty hitter with a lot of power. Butler leads off second. 3 infielders on the right side, and Capuano deals foul back. And the count 0-2.
And this is where Capuano needs to put him away. I was talking to Capuano the other day, and when he gets in trouble is when he'll get to 0-2, and instead of going right at somebody, he nibbles a little bit. You got to stay aggressive. It's something you have to focus. Keep going. Don't let up. He's 0-2 on this guy. You don't waste a pitch, but sometimes you'll lose your intensity.
So it'll be an 0-2. Capuano checks second, and the pitch is high outside. So they waste a fastball away. Now let's see if he comes back breaking ball, or actually could throw a fastball in if Reddick is thinking of leaning across the plate. No question, it's cat and mouse. Do you guess? And if you guess, can you make up for it if you're wrong? Here is the 1-2. Breaking ball is low, and the count 2-2.
When he was 0-2 and then threw the ball a waste pitch. Greg Maddux used to call that a wasted pitch. He said, when I'm 0-2, of course, Capuano's not Greg Maddux,
right.
But he said, when I'm 0-2, I want to go and get the guy. I don't want to waste a pitch.
And when it's way off the plate, that's what Joe Torre called it, a wasted pitch. If it's near the plate, here's the 2-2, and it's outside 3-2. So he's 0-2 and nibbles, and now he's 3-2.
That's what we were talking about.
Because the only thing about Greg Maddux, he could throw the ball where he wanted to.
I know, but I think it's an attitude, too.
I agree. I would agree.
He did get 2 strikes on him.
Now here comes the 3-2. Butler leads off second, and the pitch is outside ball 4. He didn't want to throw it across the plate, obviously. Second walk of the inning, so 2 on and 2 out. Now here's the catcher, Josh Fegley. Fegley is 13 for 52 with a homer and 4 RBIs. So Butler at second, Reddick at first with 2 out. And a half swing at a breaking ball, strike 1. Although pitchers never will say, oh, I know who I'm pitching against. But when you pitch against Sonny Gray or a pitcher that good, usually it means you better not give up a lot of runs. No, Capuano has 2 on and 2 out and deals to Fegley. Hit on the ground to right field. There's a base hit. Rounding third is Butler. Beltran throws home. No, they hold him up. How do you like that? I know Butler doesn't run well, but boy, I think the Yankees just got lucky. So the base, I'm so surprised, Susan. I saw him running. I couldn't believe he stopped. I was looking at Beltran throw.
Well, Gallego held him up all the way because Billy Butler is really slow. He runs like a catcher. And Beltran came up throwing, and I think he would have been out by 5 feet. But this is all set up with, and it could have scored, but he had Josh Reddick 0-2 and then walks him on 4 pitches.
And there, he threw a pitch up and away. And you know what Fegley did? He did the right thing. He went with it and slapped the ground ball through the right side. So bases loaded, 2 out. And here's the rookie outfielder, Mark Canha. He is a right-hand hitter with power. Bases loaded, 2 out. And Capuano deals low inside. Canha at 236, 6 homers, 20 RBIs. And we gave the stat last night. It may not mean anything, but Canha, for whatever reason, hits about 200 against left-hand pitching. Isn't that amazing? I figure a young right-hand hitter, he would kill lefties and have trouble with righties. Now here's the pitch. Swung on a high pop to left field. The Yanks are going to get out of it. Gardner in left center calling. Makes the catch to end the inning. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 3 left at the end of 2 innings of play. The Yankees nothing, the A's nothing. On the WFAN New York Yankees radio network driven by Jeep.
Hey, Yankee. On Sports Radio 66 and 1019 FM, WFAN New York.
Well, here's today's trivia question answer brought to you by Samsung Curved SUHD TV available at Adorama. The 3 players, All-Star Game, both Yankees and A's, Reggie Jackson, Ricky Henderson, and Jason Giambi.
Oh, very good. I knew Ricky, and I'd forgotten, of course, Giambi, and obviously Reggie. Very good. That's a good question. Here is Stephen Drew to lead it off. Drew takes a bit slow. Drew is in a horrendous slump. We used him as the who's not out of the who's hot, you know. And Drew is 2 for his last 27. His batting average at 162. Left-hand hitter, and the pitch is swung on and popped foul down the right field line. A long run for everyone, and the ball is going to be caught by Reddick crossing the line right in the Yankee bullpen. You can run, as they say, in foul territory. You can run till you get tired. So there's 1 out.
Well, this doesn't help Stephen Drew or anybody who hits like that, but he is now 0 for his last 16, John. Wow.
Number 24, Chris Young.
Well, the last 3 men in the batting order, Drew's hitting 162, which you can't believe someone's playing hitting 162. Young's hitting 229. He's been in a big slump, too. And Didi's at 206. Here's Young, a right-hand hitter, and he cuts and misses. I would gather, Susan, that when Flores comes here, that they would platoon Flores and Young. Flores is a left-hand hitter. The Yankees have lost Ellsbury. Now they've lost Heathcott. 1 out, no one on. We're in the top of the 3rd. We are scoreless.
And they're saying Heathcott, this is a bad one. It'll probably be about a month. Oh. By the way, Chris Young 1 for his last 21. That is a slump.
Well, that really is a slump. It goes even deeper than that, but the pitch to Young is low outside. So it'll be a 1-1. Well, Yes just put up the stats. I'll try to remember them. The pitch to Chris, fastball strike on the outside corner. In the month of April, remember what a great start Young got off? He hit 306.
Yep.
And in the month of May, he's hit 140. And it'll be a 1-2. And the pitch swung on, a high pop to shallow left. Out is the shortstop, Semien, and he makes a catch, and they're a 2-way. Well, Yankee fans, has another team of professionals in the Bronx with all-star talent. Workman Circle Multi-Care Center. Quality care close to home. Call 718-379-8100 or on the web at WCMCC.org. Here is Didi. He's at 206, 2 homers on 11 RBIs.
And for a starting pitcher, Sonny Gray has the best ERA in baseball.
The pitch is a strike. Let me tell you this. At 1.77 in the American League with the DH, that's unbelievable. What you're saying is he actually gives up on the average of less than 2 runs per 9 innings. That's fabulous. Pitch is low. They got 1-1. And the stat that I gave you on the home runs is, as they say, ridiculous. He's given up on the average of 1 home run every 33 innings. That's unbelievable. Didi is a left-hand hitter, 2 outs, no one on. And the pitch is hit on the ground, back to Gray. Nice play. Flips underhand to first to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 2.5. Scoreless on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
or visit anytime at tristateaudidealers.com.
Leading off for the Athletics, center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
I certainly hope you heard that. That's our buddy Dick Callahan on the
And
PA.
he's such a nice man and has such a great voice, and he's almost apologetic that he's
Well, he doesn't turn it up.
Oh, he's so soft-spoken, so nice.
Here's Billy Burns, a right-hand hitter, to lead off. They're in at the corners, and Burns takes a strike. Burns hit a fly ball to right his first time. We're scoreless. Here in the bottom of the third. And the pitch is inside. And the count 1-1. Fastball is outside to Burns. And the count 2-1. A's have one hit. Yankees are hitless as we hit the bottom of the third. Headley and Jones are in at the corners, and the pitch is a breaking ball inside.
Well, if the Yankees were ever going to be no hit, this is a good candidate to do it.
He is tough. He is very tough. And the best thing about him, we were talking with Ray Fosse, who's an ex-catcher, all-star catcher, the 3-1. Line hard down the left field line. There's a base hit. That's a product of the count. Off the left field wall, Gardner fields and fires in a leadoff double for the speedy Burns. Now 3-1. You don't want to walk him, and that's why he got a pitch up, and it was laced down the left field line. Anyway, about Ray Fosse, who was sitting at dinner with Jack and Susan and myself, and he mentioned that not only does Sonny Gray have great stuff, but he's got tremendous heart. He really is a bulldog on the mound, so he's got it all going for him. So remember, it's tough to score runs off him, so we'll see as Burns doubles. And here is Marcus Semien, the right-hand hitting shortstop. And he swings and grounds one through the left side. It's a base hit to left field. They're going to hold up Burns. Burns had to wait for the ball to go through. So that's why he didn't score. However, the A's have first and third and no one out.
And pulled in. If Chase Headley is back, that's at least one out. I was going to say about Marcus Semien, the one thing about him, he's a kid. He went to Berkeley. He's a smart kid, very nice kid. He has not let his fielding problems get to him because he can hit. And he already has six home runs, and before that hit was hitting 285. So you got to give him credit for that. He leads the world in errors, and he hasn't taken it to his offense.
You know, we saw him come up with the White Sox. He played third for the White Sox. And anyway, he looked like a good hitter. Looked like he had very good balance and all. Now here is Zobrist, first and third, no one out. Yankees play the infield back. And the pitch is a strike. I mean, you can't go on the theory that, one run's going to cost you the game. It may. But the Yankees are playing back, hoping to get the ground ball double play and give up a run, rather than have the infield in and start a really big inning. It'll be an 0-1 and a throw to first. Burns at third, Semien at first with no one out in the bottom of the third.
Well, what Ray Fosse was telling us about Sonny Gray, he was telling about something they were playing in Minnesota, and I guess Torrey Hunter was, because he can really annoy you. He jaws at you, and he tries to get you to lose your focus. And Sonny Gray just kept standing there focusing and throwing strikes.
A throw to first base elicits the boos. When Didi grounded out back to the mound to end the top of the third, that was the 15th out of the game. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit them at geico.com. The pitch is low. And the count 1-1 on Zobrist to switch it to batting right.
And this is what gets Capuano in trouble, is everything is a product of the count with him. He doesn't have all that great stuff. If he's behind, he's going to be in trouble.
Pitch. Zobrist hits a ground ball foul outside of third. On the count 1-2.
We do put this on. I mean, Capuano is supposed to be a number 5 starter. Your number 5 starter is supposed to keep you in the game. That, to me, means 5 innings, 3 runs. That's what most number 5 starters do. But when you have a team that doesn't hit, it's very difficult.
Now here comes the 1-2. Burns leads off third. Semien leads off first. No one out, bottom of the third. And Capuano deals. It's grounded to third, and it went right through the legs of Headley. 1 run scores. Holding at second is Semien. Oh, my goodness. I think Headley, when that ground ball came to him, I'm guessing, obviously, I think he probably said to himself, do I go home or do I go to second? He could have gone home, but he didn't get it either, so that has to be an error, E5. And Oakland takes a 1-0 lead.
And this infield defense has been unbelievably porous. And he was looking at the ball, and he went to glove it, and he wasn't looking anywhere except at the ball. He went to grab the ball. You can see he's got the glove there, and it goes underneath his glove and through his legs.
So 1-0 Oakland, first and second. No, now this is a very pivotal time in the game because of Sonny Gray. Now here's Billy Butler. In other words, see if you can hold him at 1. First and second, no one out. And Butler swings and lines one at deep left field. And it's over the head of Gardner and 1 hop off the left field wall. Run scores. Butler heads to second with the double. Stopping at third is Zobrist. It's a ribby double for Billy Butler. And Oakland takes a 2-0 lead.
Well, that opens the door, and that's what, and here comes Larry Rothschild. And Capuano, obviously, and he shouldn't be, he is a veteran, obviously unnerved by that error. You think you're going to get a couple of outs and give up 1 run, and now there's still nobody out and 2 runs in. And a breaking pitch that stayed on the outside part of the plate. It was down, but he's too good a hitter for that. You can't give him a curveball that's anywhere near the middle of the plate or not on the ground. Billy Butler can get down and get him with the best of them.
So Butler gets his 25th RBI.
First baseman, 21, Stephen Vogt.
Now Oakland has a 2-0 lead, and they have second and third and no one out. And you've heard me say this about 1,000 times. If they make the right kind of outs, they could take a 4-0 lead, and that would be tough with Gray. I mean, very tough. Infield's back, second and third, and no one out. And Vogt hits a ground ball fair over first, down the right field line, rolling to the right field corner, extra bases, 2-run score. Vogt goes to second with a double. It is a 2-run double for Stephen Vogt. And the A's take a 4-0 lead.
Well, and they're looking for a strike, and Vogt did the right thing. He's looking for him to throw a ball that is hittable. He's got to throw a strike. He can't get behind him. Stephen Vogt having a terrific year. He's the only one in this lineup who's hitting over 300. Came in hitting 317. Now that was his 34th and 35th RBIs. Someone's getting up in the Yankee pen.
And the Yankees trail 4-0. What's even worse, as Susan just mentioned, that the Yankees are stirring in the bullpen. Here's Laurie, a right-hand hitter. And the pitch is, there it goes. Deep left, it is high. It is far. It is a foul ball. At the last minute, it hooked foul past the pole. The ball must have gone 15 rows back. That was a home run from the get-go, and the Yankees got lucky that it went foul. And by the way, I know Headley made an error, but he's getting killed.
Right.
And they're going up and swinging as hard as they can. And
swings in the first pitch. Once again, I'm sure that's Esmil Rogers out there. Yes, it is. And that's exactly what they're doing. Capuano is trying to throw at the first pitch over the plate, and they're expecting it, and they're smashing it.
So it'll be an 0-1 to Laurie. And the pitch is low. That ball was quote-unquote a home run about 90% of the way down the line, and it just hooked foul. And that saved the Yankees from being down 6-0 in this game. I think 4-0 is bad enough.
Not to Sonny Gray, it is.
The pitch to Laurie, a fastball inside, and the count 2-1.
Well, Jack just handed me something that puts Chase Headley's fielding in perspective, and really does. Chase Headley now has 11 errors. His career high was 13 in 2010. We're not even through May.
No. There's the 2-1. Sprayed foul down the right field line. Right over the bullpen where Esmail is warming up. And the count 2-2. Now, I know Headley made an error on a ground ball, but the base hits have been hard. Double, single, error, double, double. And then the near miss of a home run. Now, Capuano deals. Line foul, first base side. Meanwhile, they had a great shot of Sonny Gray looking on. Not smiling, very serious. If he looks 20, he looks a day.
No, I think he looks like he's a teenager. He looks like he's about 15. He's got a little baby face, a little crew cut.
But inside, he's saying to himself, "Ooh, this is great. I got 4 runs." There'll be a 2-2 to Laurie. And the pitch cut on him. It struck him out swinging, one away.
And it's the second time he's gotten Laurie.
Now 1 down. That'll bring up the left-hander to Josh Reddick.
Now batting right fielder, 22, Josh Reddick.
We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth. Sunoco. Save 5 cents on every gallon instantly with your Sunoco Rewards credit card. Reddick walked his first time. Vogt is the base runner at second. Reddick takes a breaking ball outside, 1-0.
Well, if Chris Capuano is indeed pitching for his job, he's not putting up a very good reason for him to be kept in the rotation, that's for sure.
Well, I agree with you. You can't go out and get beaten up every time. Reddick takes outside, 2-0. Now the left-hander is set to go and will deal low, and the count 3-0. One silly stat. He had Reddick 0-2 last time and threw 4 bad pitches. Here he's thrown 3. He's thrown 7 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone to Josh Reddick. Now the left-hander is set to go. Be a 3-0. And there's a strike. And the count 3-1. 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
Final score in Game 7, Lightning 2, Rangers nothing. 2 third-period goals. So Tampa is on to the Stanley Cup Final. More later, WFAN, WFAN-FM, New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Oakland Coliseum. The A's have struck 4 runs here in the third, have a 4-0 lead. With 1 out, the runner at second is Stephen Vogt. It'll be a 3-1 to Reddick. And the 3-1 hit hard on the ground to second. Drew throws to first in time. Vogt goes over to third. So they're a 2-way. And with 2 down, that'll bring up Josh Fegley.
Wasn't Fegley the backup catcher in Chicago?
Yes.
Josh Fegley.
This is the 8th batter to bat in the inning. Remember last inning, Capuano left the bases loaded. They got to him this inning. 4-0 A's, runner at third, 2 men out. Fegley is a right-hand hitter. And the pitch cut on him. It's not a breaking ball. Now Capuano will deal 0-1 to Fegley. And the breaking ball low. And the count 1-1. I don't think it's really going to matter much because Rogers is still throwing in the bullpen. But if the game was going to go on for a while and Capuano in it, he'd run into a pitch count. He has thrown 55 pitches. Stephen Vogt leads off third with 2 out. The pitch to Fegley is cut on and missed. A change down and away. Now the count 1-2.
Well, that's a good one. If he gets ahead, he can do that. Hasn't broken that out earlier on.
Be a 1-2 to the right-hand hitting Fegley, and the pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt. So the count 2-2. Now, Capuano ready for the 2-2. And the pitch inside, and the count 3-2. Now, one thing, when you get hit, and Capuano in his 3 starts has really gotten hit. When you get hit, you know that you don't want to throw the ball anywhere near the middle of the plate. And so even when Capuano gets ahead of a hitter, he tends to nibble. Now, here's the 3-2 coming to Fegley. And the pitch is hit on the ground to third. Backhanded by Headley, who fires to first to end the inning. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 1 left. Now, at the end of 3 innings of play, 4-0 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
.66 and 101.9 FM WFAN New York.
Well, we go to the 4th inning, and the top of the 4th brought to you by Domino's Pizza. The pizza with the best toppings. Domino's, the official pizza of the New York Yankees radio network. Well, the Yankees do have a base runner. Gardner walked to begin the game, but he was erased in a double play, and so Sonny Gray has faced the minimum of 9. As Gardner comes up to lead off the 4th, the Yankees are trailing 4-0. Here in Oakland, a lot of teams do this. They update the stats during the game, whether you're batting average or ERA or whatever. And I just happened to look at the board as Gray deals to Gardner, and the pitch is strike. His ERA went down to 1.70. From 1.77.
Right, and he was the best before the game started. Right. Now he's really the best.
Now here's the 0-1 from the right-hander. And Gardner bluffs bunt and takes a pitch low in the count 1-1.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees since 2008. Amazing things are happening here. Start on this side of the page this time. Kansas City beat the Cubs 8-4. Alcides Escobar, Alex Gordon, and Salvi Perez all homered.
Gardner fouls it back. Escobar homered on the first pitch of the game. Who started for the Cubs?
That would be Jake Arrieta.
Well, his first pitch was hit up.
Yep. He went 7 innings, giving up 4 runs and 8 hits. Kelvin Herrera got the win. Pedro Strop took the loss. Jorge Soler and Addison Russell, ex-A-Thor man, hit a home run.
Here comes the 1-2 from Gray, and the fastball is inside, 2-2.
Cody Ashe broke up Chad Bettis' no-hit bid in the 8th inning. Colorado, though, beat Philadelphia 4-1. Chad Bettis gets the win. Cole Hamels takes the loss, 22,000 in Philly. Miami beat the Mets 4-3.
The pitch to Gardner. He struck him out swinging. One away.
Danny Herron gets the win. Matt Harvey takes the loss. A.J. Ramos gets his third save of the year. Cincinnati beat Washington 5-2. Steven Strasburg, when one inning was taken out of the game, he left the game with a tight muscle in his neck. Joey Votto and Todd Frazier. Todd Frazier's got 15 home runs.
Strasburg's not pitching well.
Well, maybe that was it. Left with a bad muscle in his neck in the first inning.
Here is Chase Headley with 1 out and no one on. And the right-hander deals foul back. By the way, the last 2 fastballs that Gray has thrown, that one and a couple of pitches ago to Gardner, were 95. He can really turn it loose. A little guy who can really throw. The 0-1, breaking ball, strike 0-2.
St. Louis is leading the Dodgers 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th. They're in St. Louis. Pittsburgh and San Diego, no score as they go to the top of the 3rd in San Diego. And San Francisco leading Atlanta 2-1, bottom of the 3rd. Buster Posey has his 8th home run in the American League.
The pitch is cut on him. Headley strikes out 2 away.
J.J. Hardy had a walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 9th, and Baltimore beat Tampa Bay 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Texas. Texas leading Boston 7-4. Josh Hamilton has had 2 home runs tonight, his first and second of the year. White Sox and Houston all tied up 3 apiece, bottom of the 8th. They are in Houston. All tied up also is Toronto and Minnesota. They're in the bottom of the 8th. The score there 4-4. Josh Donaldson had his 14th home run.
Here is Alex, and the pitch low, 1-0.
Detroit and the Angels scoreless at the bottom of the 4th. At the Big A, Anibal Sanchez against Hector Santiago. And the bottom of the 4th in Seattle, no score. Cleveland and the Mariners, Trevor Bauer against Taijuan Walker.
There's a strike at the knees, 1-1. Here, Oakland has a 4-0 lead. Sonny Gray has allowed a walk. The walk erased in a double play, so he has faced the minimum 11 with 2 outs here in the 4th. And by the way, he really looks good. He combines this 95-mile-an-hour heater with the slider that the bottom drops out. The pitch is hit on the ground to short. Backhanded by Semien. The throw is low, but grabbed by Vogt. Nice play by Stephen Vogt. You know, Ray Fosse told Susan, when Semien gets a ground ball, you have no idea where the ball's going to go. Last night he threw it in the Yankee dugout. So that time Vogt saved him an error. And the play goes 6-3. 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 3.5, it's 4-0 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. The 4th inning brought to you by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. It's 4-0 Oakland, bottom of the 4th. The 9th hitter, Mark Canha, will lead off. He flied out to left with the bases loaded to end the 2nd inning. Then Oakland scored their 4 in the 3rd. Now here's Capuano's first pitch is low. You can see what the Yankees want to do. They want Capuano to give him a couple more innings so they don't use up the entire bullpen in a loss. We'll see if he can do that. He will deal 1-0 to the right-hand hitter. And the pitch high, and the count 2-0.
Recovery Room Health Update is sponsored by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. Slade Heathcott put on the DL today. They think it'll be about a month. He's got a grade 2 quad strain. Those take a long time.
Now here's the 2-0. Swung on and line to left field, and Gardner makes the catch. Gardner went to a slide to get down and made the grab, 1 away.
Masahiro Tanaka is here. He's going to pitch on Wednesday in Seattle. And Jacoby Ellsbury is not doing any baseball activities yet. He has graduated, however, to exercises in the pool with his legs. He has a sprained knee, if you remember.
Well, 108, and here is Billy Burns. He is 1 for 2. They're in at the corners, and he cuts and misses at a change, 0-1.
You know, I know you can't keep throwing change, but that's been his best pitch.
Mm-hmm. The 0-1 breaking ball is low, 1-1. Hey, Susan, how about the way Josh Hamilton has come back? He had a single and a double last night and 2 homers today.
Yeah, and he got such an ovation, and I heard you talk about it on pregame. He was eviscerated when he came back when he was an Angel. And, boy, all is forgiven.
Pitch, line, foul down the left field line. And the count 1-1.
And I guess he did not look very good in Cleveland. They started in Cleveland. He joined them in Cleveland, and he looked really bad and very slow bat. And then they came home, and he came out. The first he got a standing ovation, and he promptly doubled. This was yesterday. And then today had 2 homers. I know it's off the knuckleballer, but they must have gone crazy. They really need offense. Didn't look at like when they came to Yankee Stadium,
nope.
But all year they have really needed offense. This will really help if he's still got anything left.
It'll be a 1-2 to Burns. Baseball and all sports, funny. Pitch. Fouled away. I mean, so much has to do with confidence. And he just had a terrible time with the Angels. Now he comes home and off with a bang. 1-2 on the leadoff hitter, Billy Burns. 4-0 A's. We're in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out and no one on. And Capuano deals. And it's cut on and missed. McCann held on. Ball was in the dirt. So they're a 2-away. That's the 4th strikeout for Capuano.
I kind of liked what Ray Fosse said to me on pregame, talking about how everybody is new and it takes time for a team to gel together. And he said to me off there, he said, well, Bob Melvin will figure it out.
The pitch is backdoor breaking ball low. Semien is 1 for 2.
Don't forget, everybody is new. The entire infield is new and played together.
The pitch is a half swing at a breaking ball. The count 1-1.
And I guess, John, was Vogt catching before Ike Davis got hurt? Because Ike Davis is the first baseman, and now because they didn't have anybody, so Vogt is playing first, and Fegley is catching.
I think that's probably true. The pitch is swung on a high pop to right field. Beltran in a couple of steps to make the catch and the inning. So Capuano has a 1-2-3. And at the end of 4 innings of play, it's 4-0 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
.019 FM WFAN New York.
Fans coming up to the stadium Wednesday, June 17th, when the Yanks take on the Marlins. The first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees barbecue apron, courtesy of WFAN. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com.
If the Yankees lose this game, they're down 4-0 as we hit the top of the 5th. The Yankees will be a game over 500. It'll be 25-24. Here's McCann, breaking ball strike. But they'll be in first place. Why? They're the only team in the American League East is over 500. Which is kind of amazing. There is the 0-1. There's a strike in the count 0-2. You know what? Fans don't care. Administrations don't care what the record is, as long as you're up there where you can either finish first to get to the playoffs. So there'll be an 0-2 to McCann. Swung on a high drive to deep right. Reddick going back. He's on the track near the wall and is gone. Another home run for McCann over the 362. Reddick all the way to the wall. And the ball went over. Oh, McCann can. Yes, McCann can. That's the first hit of the game for the Yankees, and they now trail 4-1. And that man, McCann, is on fire.
Well, and that did not have the break and the depth that his breaking pitches has had for the first 4 innings.
I did not know that was going to be a home run. It was hit so high. Pitch is a strike. And Reddick was going back and back and back, and finally got to the wall and looked up, and the ball kind of disappeared. The little white baseball right over the 362 at the end of the scoreboard. Pitch hit hard on the ground toward the middle, fielded by Zobrist, throws to first in time. Beautiful throw. Zobrist was in the outfield, and he's kind of heading toward right center when he made the grab, and he threw out Beltran. McCann has now hit in 7 straight. And he has hit a bunch of home runs in that time.
Oh, and that was a breaking pitch, and it stayed up and made a mistake. It was right thigh high, and he just turned on it.
And by the way, that also was the Ballantine blast of the game. Brought to you by Ballantine IPA, America's original IPA. Taste a piece of craft beer history. Garrett Jones is the hitter, and he takes the strike. So the Yankees trail 4-1. And Gray deals backdoor breaking ball strike, and the count 0-2.
Well, we don't have to worry about them being no hit now.
Nope. Or shut out for that.
Or shut out. McCann came into this game 9 for 26, 9 for his last 26.
Ground ball foul.
He was hitting for power. So. Hey, you know what?
Well, during the 7 games, he has 4 homers, 11 RBIs, and 9 for 21 is 429. So he's gotten hot.
Is that his first home run on the road? I think it is. No,
well, he hit one last night.
Oh, last night. Okay. So he likes this place and Yankee Stadium.
Which is slow. Which are a little different, don't you think?
Well, see, he hit its 362 out to right field there.
Oh, or I don't mean distance. It's how the ball carries.
Yeah.
No, the distances never change. Even in, as they say, the big ballparks. It just means to me that the ball doesn't carry. There'll be a 1-2 to Garrett Jones, a left-hand hitter. He's playing for Teixeira today, just to give Teixeira one day off.
Then was last night's home run the first one? Yes, Jack says yes. Last night's was the first one outside of Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, stop asking me questions. Ask Maldonado. He knows. The 1-2 is cut on. Missed. Strikeout number 5 for Gray. Ford vehicles have it all. Great design, intelligent features, all at a price that won't break the bank. See why they're the total package at your local Ford dealer now, or visit us at tristateford.com. Here's Stephen Drew, who fly to right his first time. And the fastball is high, 1-0. If I didn't mention it, that was McCann's 8th homer and his 32nd RBI. And there is a strike. This is a lot easier said than done. The Yankees need to get Ellsbury back to team up Ellsbury and Gardner. And then the middle 3 would be pretty potent. A-Rod, Teixeira, and McCann. After that, the Yankees have had very little hitting. Beltran is coming alive. It'll be a 1-1. And the pitch is popped high in the air, foul off third. And the count 1-2.
I guess the idea, John, is to keep your head above water until your people come back.
Right. You know what I feel, though? I really do. I never felt this way before, but in the last X number of years, by the time they come back, someone else will be in.
Well,
no, it's really true.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
1-2 is low on the count, 2-2. You know, today we saw that Scott Feldman is one of the top starters for Houston. He went on the DL. Every day someone of import goes on the DL.
It is something, isn't it? Feldman's out a long time, right? 4 to 6 weeks.
2-2 is grounded to second. Zobrist throws out Drew to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, the homer by McCann to break up the no-hitter. And at the end of 4.5 innings of play, it's 4-1 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
.com/mattress for a mattress gallery near you.
Well, we go to the 5th inning. It's post time, and we bring in Kevin Curtin from the New York Post. The New York Post brings you the best sports in town every day. Ben Zobrist will lead off for the A's here in the 5th. 4-1 Oakland, and Zobrist takes a strike. Well, Kevin, first of all, we've got a lot of questions to ask you. First of all, what do you do about Capuano? Does he stay in the rotation? And you send Adam Warren to the bullpen. You keep Warren in the rotation. And then where does that leave Capuano, who deals when the pitch is low?
I don't fool around. I keep Warren in the rotation. I'm just not enthralled with Capuano, what I've seen. And, Tanaka's back. There's a lot of things they got to do. John, the batting average against for the starting pitchers for the Yankees is 29th in Major League Baseball.
Oh, boy.
29th.
Can't go much lower.
The pitch to Zobrist is grounded to third. Headley to the glove side, fields and throws 1 away.
Well, that brings up another point. I mean, you can talk about Capuano and all that, and I know Nova will be back at some point, and
right.
Maybe you can get rid of Capuano. Who knows? Maybe you've got a pitching staff. The bottom of this order, I mean, if you can't get past the top 5 guys, you're not going to win a lot of games.
And they need to make some adjustments. And this is the scary part from what I'm seeing, totally unbiased looking at it. They are not making the adjustments that they should be making, that they're being told to be made by the batting coach, to be quite frank, from what I see here. Guys are still taking the same kind of crazy swings.
Billy Butler lines one to center, and back is Young to make the catch. And there are 2 away.
I was going to say, John, isn't it fun to watch Billy Butler run the bases?
I was amazed when he was held up before, but
and then he barely. I know this has got the most foul ground in Major League Baseball, but I was wondering for a while if he was going to make it back to the dugout.
But as they say, I have my own problems. So right. 2 away, and here is Stephen Vogt.
No, what do you think is the bottom of this? I don't know what's worse, the bottom of this order or the defense, which really starts everything with their mistakes.
The pitch is a strike, and we're giving you all this negative stuff, and this is a team that's in first place.
and I expect them to stay up there. I really do, because the rest of the division stinks. As I say, it's a 4A division, and no one is over 500 except the Yankees, and just barely.
The pitch to Vogt, lefty hitter, is fouled third base side of home plate. And the count 0-2.
Well, I know that's the bottom line, but you can look at this team, and if you're the general manager of the Yankees, there's problems here. They're not going to play the division, in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you got to wonder when they're going to give up on Stephen Drew, or at least sit him down or do something, or bring up one of the kids.
Pitch. Swung on and fouled off. I will say this, that the team that they have, and the Red Sox and the Orioles, that's not the team they're going to have in the next few months. They're all going to make changes. Depends who makes the best changes, I guess.
And I think the Red Sox have the ability to make the best changes, but I still feel, if you really ask me who I think is going to win this division, I'm going to say the Orioles.
Capuano deals, and the pitch outside 1-2 on Vogt.
Well, they pretty much have to stay with what they've got. They can't make a lot of changes.
I don't think the Yankees are going to make a lot of changes either.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't think. Really? I don't see a lot of trades of things coming around the pike here. And you hit on it, Susan. This infield defense is atrocious.
And it wasn't expected to be. Pitch. Swung on and grounded to the open side. It's a base hit. Headley knocks it down in the outfield grass. But no one was there, so Vogt hit a ground ball, which I love when hitters do that. So there's a 2-out base hit.
And you guys have a great view here when it's not freezing, and as it was last night. But when you see that much green in front of you, you got to take advantage of it. And I think we're seeing a change in baseball. And the Yankees, that's a base hit given up by the Yankees IT staff right there. Because that was a ground ball third.
It was a ground ball. Boy, if I was the pitcher, would that drive me nuts? Here is Brett Laurie, a right-hand hitter, and the pitch is cut on him. Did you know, sometimes I don't look at the standings, did you know, Kevin, that going into today, Minnesota was tied with Kansas City?
You know, I was being home last week. I watched a few of their games on TV and tweeted something out about 10 days ago. I really like the way they were starting to play. I just like what their manager has done, has got them focused on baseball. Even as little thing as getting the guys off their phones in spring training and focusing on games. If you I maintain if you really focus on your job this day and age, in this era, you're going to be better than the next guy simply because they don't focus.
The pitch to Laurie is low 1-0.
That's such a great point, and you know why he could do that? He took the phones away. He didn't just say get off. He took them out of the clubhouse because he's Paul Molitor. That's why he could do that.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
And our job, just to give you a little insight, you know, when we go to talk to guys now, you know, guys are always on their phones standing there.
1-1, check swing foul. First base side, 1 and 2. And
I'm impolite, I guess. I don't wait. I go right up and I talk to them. The phone is not a human being. I'm a human being. You got to answer my questions.
You know,
and I will say this, without a doubt, the Yankees clubhouse, I think a lot of stand-up guys. I mean, I had a long talk with Alex before the game today, what he's trying to do and the things that are going on there. I was a little surprised that Teixeira was out of lineup today, but you know, that's one of those things. I think Joe thinks he's got to give these guys rest, and why not against Sonny Gray, I guess.
Here's the 1-2. Up high, 2-2.
I know they do have a lot of stand-up guys. I'd rather that you didn't have to keep going up to guys and asking them why they made an error.
Exactly.
Or why they blew a ball game. I'm not talking about Alex. Which brings me to Chase Headley. He's now got 11 errors this year. His career high was 13 in 2013, and we're not out of May. What do you see there? I don't get it.
Pitch hit on the ground is short. Didi throws to second for the force to end the inning. And so on Kevin Kernan's next appearance, he'll answer that.
On Sunday.
Sunday, okay. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. At the end of 5, 4-1 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network driven by Jeep.
FM WFAN New York.
Your local Tri-State Audi dealers invite you to experience the uncompromised performance of the Audi A3 today, or visit anytime at tristateaudidealers.com.
Well, here we go to the 6th. Chris Young leads off, takes a fastball high from Gray. We didn't mention, because we were talking with Kevin Kernan, but near the end of that inning, Esmail Rogers was up again. The pitch to Chris Young, grounded foul outside of third, 1-1. So,
Sorry, John.
Well, but Caviano has settled down. At least he's giving him some innings so they don't have to burn up the bullpen. It's 4-1 Oakland. We're in the top of the 6th, 8, 9, and 1. Young, Gregorius, and then Gardner. And the right-hander Sonny Gray deals outside fastball.
Scoreboard update brought to you by Bigelow Family Tea Blender since 1945.
Here's the 2-1. And Chris takes a fastball high at 3-1.
Once again, J.J. Hardy's walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th inning gives Baltimore a 2-1 victory over Tampa Bay. Chris Davis had the other run. It was his 12th homer of the season. Final in Texas, Rangers have beaten Boston 7-4. Josh Hamilton had 2 home runs.
Young swings and misses 3-2.
They're in the 10th in Houston. White Sox and Houston all tied up at 3 apiece. Gordon Beckham had his 3rd homer for the White Sox. Toronto's taken a 6-4 lead over Minnesota. They beat Minnesota 6-4. Josh Donaldson had his 14th. Chris Colabello had his 4th.
Young pops it up off the plate, and Sonny Gray makes the catch as he crossed the line between home plate and first base. So the pitcher makes the catch, 1 away.
And the Angels are leading Detroit 1-0 as they go to the 6th in Anaheim. Bottom of the 6th in Seattle, no score, Indians and the Mariners. Kansas City beat the Cubs 8-4. Alcides Escobar, Alex Gordon, and Salvi Perez all homered.
108, and here is Didi. A left-hand hitter, and Gray deals, and the pitch is high. Gregorius ran the hands up, did not bunt at it.
Colorado beat Philly 4-1. Kobayashi had a base hit in the 8th inning. It broke up a no-hit bid by Chad Bettis, but he did get the win. He goes to 2-0. Cole Hamels takes the loss.
The pitch to Didi. There's a strike.
And over at Citi Field, Miami beat Matt Harvey and the Mets 4-3. Lucas Duda had his 9th homer. Curtis Granderson his 6th. Andy Herron beats Harvey. A.J. Reynolds has his 3rd save.
Now Gray deals 1-1. Swung on and lined to right center field and deep. Burns on the run, and he cannot get it. The ball goes one hop off the wall. Didi rounds second and holds on. He couldn't have made a third anyway, but when you're down 4-1 and there's one out, you stay at second base. So Didi wallops one to deep right center and over the head of Burns, who was racing toward right center, but over his head and one hop off the wall. So the Yanks have a runner at second, one out. Here's Brett Gardner.
And Burns jumped for it, and it bounced high off the wall, just off the tip of his glove. It hits high off the wall, and he had to go and get it. You know, that was pretty much the same pitch that McCann hit out, breaking pitch that didn't have a lot of depth.
Gardner has walked and struck out. Gray has walked 1 and has struck out 5. And the pitch gets away from Fegley, so Didi takes third anyway, and the Yankees now can score a run on an out. That's a wild pitch. Bounced in the dirt in front of Fegley.
And hit off his shin guards.
Now here's the 1-0 to Gardner. And the pitch low. A ground ball anywhere but third scores the run. You don't bring the infield in when you're ahead. You don't want to open up a big inning. Well, the Yankees trail 4-1, and let's face it, they have to score this run. A double and a wild pitch gets him to third, and you never know when you're going to get the old bloop and a blast. Possible. Here's the 2-0 to Gardner. And there's a strike at the knees, 2-1.
95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Now Gray's ready to go at the belt, and the pitch is low, and the count 3-1.
Again, it's a little off here in this inning.
There'll be a 3-1 to Gardner. If Gardner gets on, then the Yankees send up the tying run. Didi leads off third with one man out in the 6th. And the 3-1 is fouled at home plate. Gardner fouled it off his leg, and the count 3-2.
He's taking a walk around the grass, trying to shake it off.
Fans, come out to Yankee Stadium Tuesday, June 9th. The Yankees take on the Nationals in an interleague matchup. A Yankee Stadium tradition, Cap Night. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Cannon, and for tickets, log on to Yankees.com. The Gardner takes a moment out, get himself together. It'll be a 3-2. Didi leads off third with one man out. And the pitch is grounded foul. To tell you how good Gray has been this year, now he's pitching a tremendous game. He's given up 2 hits. But if Gardner hits a ground ball to first, second, or short, The second run will have scored, and that would be more than his ERA. Now, once again, it'll be a 3-2. And the right-hander deals. Swung on, hit on the ground to short. A run scores. Semien fields and throws low, but it's scooped up by Vogt for the second out. You know that I have not seen Semien been able to throw the ball to first base on the fly to the first baseman in this series. So Gardner gets a ribby. He grounds out 6-3 and picks up his 21st RBI. Didi scores from third, and the Yankees now trail 4-2.
And Vogt caught that like a catcher. And he came up with it. Puts that body in front of it, catches it actually underhand.
Now, two-way, and here is Headley. And Headley fouls one down the left field line out of play, 1-1. Now the pitch to Headley, grounded weakly to first. Vogt fields, steps on the bag to end the inning. However, the Yankees get a run closer. 1 run, 1 hit, no one left. At the end of 5.5, it's 4-2 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Right fielder, 22, Josh Reddick.
Now we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Yankees have made it a game. McCann's home run, Didi's double, the wild pitch sent him to third, and a ground ball scored him. So it's 4-2 as we hit the bottom of the 6th, and for Capuano and the bullpen, obviously they have to hold Oakland right at 4. Josh Reddick will lead off, left-hand hitter, and the pitch is low. Reddick, Fegley, and Canna, they're 7, 8, and 9 in the Oakland lineup. And the pitch outside. That was Capuano's 87th pitch. Now it'll be a 2-0, lefty to lefty. Reddick has walked and grounded out. And he takes a breaking ball strike. Three infielders on the right side for Reddick. And the pitch is lined to left field. Gardner on the run makes the catch. Gardner got a great jump. And he cut toward the line. It was a hard line drive, one away.
And here comes Joe Girardi. Esmail Rogers has been warming up all this time, and after Reddick makes the out, Joe is going to get Capuano. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your Tri-State Ford dealers. The new pitchers is the hard-throwing righty Esmail Rogers.
With 1 out, no one on here in the bottom of the 6th. Yankees trailing 4-2. So Capuano had one really bad inning and settled down to get the Yankees to the 6th. Here is Josh Fegley. Now he takes a pitch outside. Fegley, the righty hitting catcher, 1 for 2. Now it'll be a 1-0 to the right-hand hitter. And the pitch is grounded to short. Backhanded by Didi, and he bobbles it. He was getting ready to throw from the edge of the outfield grass, and he bobbled it in his hands. So that has to be an error. The Yankees' second error of the game.
Well, he backhanded the ball and then couldn't get it out of his hand. Did he say a base hit?
Well, they had 6 hits before, so they haven't called anything yet.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how they could call it.
Oh, I thought that's what I...
No,
yes.
they did call it a hit.
Oh, my goodness. I will continue what I said at Yankee Stadium. The official scorers have been very kind to Didi Gregorius.
Indeed. What they're doing is giving home cooking to the...
Oh, my goodness.
So they give Fegley a single, which is amazing.
Oh,
the pitch to Canna is low, 1-0.
I mean, you're a big league shortstop. You got to make that play. You can't have the ball coming out of your hand like that, going up in the air.
The pitch, breaking ball low. Capuano goes 5 1/3, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Painting the Corner brought to you by Certa Pro Painters, because painting is personal. One thing that Susan is saying, because we talked about it last week at home, you can't go by the stats. You have to see the games. And I'll give you an example. Pitch. Line. Foul. Just missed. Down the line. It could have missed by 3 or 4 inches down the line. If you look up Didi's errors, they're really not that bad. But there have been so many plays where, on the road, where the official score gives a base hit to the home team kind of thing, that he's fortunate that he hasn't been charged with a lot more errors, is what we're saying. Now, 1 on, 1 out. Canna, a right-hand hitter, with a count of 2-1. Now, the right-hander set to go. And the 2-1. There's a breaking ball strike, 2-2.
And you look at it, John, this is pretty much what I had said. One of those runs was not unearned. So this is who Capuano is. 5 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs. That's what he does.
Well, he had the 1 bad inning, and suddenly at least he brought the Yankees to the 6th inning with 1 out. Now, Rogers will deal 2-2. And the pitch low, and the count 3-2. It's 4-2 Oakland. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Now here's the payoff. Line hard deep down the left field line. Foul. That was a few feet foul. Hit hard. Now the count remains 3-2.
Really turning on that fastball, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Just a little too quick. Again, as we said yesterday, 25-year-old Rule 5 pick from the Marlins.
Payoff is popped up. Shallow center, drew out Young in. It's Young's ball, and he makes the catch, and they're a 2 away. Now with 2 down, here's a little switch hitting center fielder, Billy Burns.
Now batting center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
Burns has really odd stats. He's been up a little over 100 times. Rogers deals, breaking ball strike. And he's hitting well. He's hitting .303. And he has 2 home runs, but he has 3 RBIs. So obviously he only has 1 more RBI if his homers were both solo. Isn't that odd? And 100 at bats. Switch hitter batting left here against Rogers. And there's another breaking ball strike, and the count 0-2. Now the right-hander is set to go, and the 0-2 struck him out swing on another breaking ball, dropped by McCann. fires to first for the 2-3 putout. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit. A dubious hit at that. And 1 left, and now at the end of 6 innings of play. It's 4-2 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
The Rangers lose a Game 7 at the Garden for the first time ever. The Lightning advance to the Stanley Cup Final. Tony Page follows the Yanks on WFAN and WFAN-FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Wellman back at Oakland Coliseum. Yankees trail 4-2. We go to the 7th. And here is A-Rod to lead off. And the pitch is grounded foul outside of third.
Come on up to the stadium Wednesday afternoon, June 10th, when the Yankees take on the Nationals. First 18,000 guests, 21 and older, receive a Yankees smartphone car bent mount courtesy of Avis. Log on to Yankees.com for tickets.
The A's scored all 4 of their runs in the 3rd inning off Capuano. Then he settled down. And Gray deals, caught on and grounded wide at third. And booted. The throw to first is in time. Laurie booted it, picked it up, and fired to first. And so there's 1 away. Meanwhile, Gray has given up only 2 hits. One of them a home run to McCann. That was in the 5th. And last inning, Didi Gregorius doubled to deep right center, went to third on a wild pitch and scored on a ground ball. So although the Yankees only have 2 hits in the game, they're only trailing 4-2 here in the 7th. 1 away. Here is McCann, who homered tonight. He's 1 for 2. And there's a strike.
Certainly making most of your hits, huh?
You certainly are.
Raleigh Fingers won the Hall of Famer race. He beat Ricky and Dennis Eckersley, in case anybody's wondering.
McCann rips one to first. Grabbed by Vogt. He'll take it himself. And there are 2 away. Well, I love the race. I love the idea. You know, every park now has a race of some kind with kind of a local flavor. I don't think Raleigh would beat Ricky too many times.
He beat him last night, too. He's beating him 2 out of 2. Whoever is wearing the Raleigh Fingers costume.
Got good legs.
It's got good.
Here's Beltran with 2 outs and no one on.
Well, it's better than hot dogs and ketchup and things.
The breaking ball is low. I like the Washington Presidents one.
I like that one. I like the one in Texas with Sam Houston and Davy Crockett and the Texas people. Nolan Ryan's in that race. Oh, he won't be this year because he's not there anymore.
Right.
Oh.
Pitch to Beltran is low. The 7th inning sponsored by Tri-State Ford. Drop everything and get to the Memorial Day sales event at your local Ford dealer. Save big on some of the most stylish rides around like Fusion, Escape, and Explorer. Visit tristateford.com for details. There'll be a 2-0 to Carlos. And the pitch low inside in the count 3-0. This will be the 80th pitch for Gray, so let's face it, he's in very good shape pitch count wise. And he deals a strike. Well, he should be. I mean, he's given up 2 hits and 1 walk. And those are only 3 base runners of Sonny Gray, so he should be in good count, pitch count wise. Beltran lines one, a base hit to right center field. Cut off by Reddick in the gap, and he fires in.
You know, I had some stats I had written down about Beltran before tonight's game, and that single just reminded me because he's done, you know, he started off so badly. And in May, 22 games in May, before tonight, he was hitting .305 with 8 runs scored, 7 doubles, 3 home runs, and 11 RBIs.
That is a great hope for the Yanks that he is really going to hit.
Yep.
As I mentioned, 3, 4, and 5, pretty good power, and it would help if 6 would have the same kind of power and batting average. Here's Garrett Jones. He's the tying run, and the pitch low inside 1-0.
Well, and the bottom of the order, I'm sorry, you can't have a black hole down at the bottom of the order.
No, and they do. There's no question about it. And also, they'd be better when Ellsbury gets back to Team with Gardner up on top. Jones over 2. He struck out twice against Gray. And the pitch is cut on him. Missed. And the count 1-1. Jones, like a lot of other American leaguers, missing that slider from Gray.
You know, here's an interesting thing we didn't talk about at all. Their top pitching prospect, Luis Severino, was moved from AA to AAA. And he's the one who moved, not Aaron Judge, not Greg Bird. Well, Bird's hurt now, but, you know, he's the one who moved. So I'm wondering if they're putting him kind of on the fast track here.
I would think they are. One thing, the pitch to Jones is a breaking ball high. They didn't move him from AA to AAA because he wasn't succeeding. That meant he was succeeding at AA. Now they'll pitch him X number of starts. Pitchers can make the jump, more so than position players. There'll be a 2-1 to Jones. He's the tying run. Beltran leads off first with 2 out, and the pitch is grounded to second. Zobrist fields, fires to first in time. Nice play by Zobrist. So for the Yanks, no runs on a hit. They leave 1 at the end of 6.5. It's 4-2 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
7th inning stretch is brought to you by your Tri-State BMW Centers. BMW, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine.
Now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Oakland with a 4-2 lead. Marcus Semien leads off and takes a strike. And the 0-1 on breaking ball low. Yankees have a lefty in the bullpen. Semien is 1 for 3. And Rogers deals cut on him.
And that would be the rookie Jacob Lindgren.
Pitch is cut on him. Missed. And Semien strikes out. Second straight strikeout for Rogers. And 1 away. Here is Ben Zobrist. Zobrist, the switch hitter. Then the right-hand hitter, Butler. And then their best hitter, left-handed Stephen Vogt. So maybe Lindgren is getting ready for Vogt. Zobrist takes a pitch low. Zobrist 0 for 3 on the night. Switcher to batting left, and he takes a strike at the knees. Capuano had a terrible 3rd inning. Double, single, error, double, double for the 4 runs. And that's all. Other innings, Capuano pitched very well. Rogers deals, pitched low. And the count 2-1 on Zobrist. Well, the Yankees trail 4-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out, no one on. 3 infielders on the right side. Zobrist takes a fastball strike. And the count 2-2. Now the right-hander deals. Strike 3 at the knees. Home plate umpire Mike Estabrook took a while, but then he pumped him out. And they're a 2-way, and that's 3 straight strikeouts for Rogers.
And he does have electric stuff. Sometimes he can get a little wild, get behind and count.
So here's Billy Butler with 2 outs and no one on. And Butler takes a pitch outside 1-0. It's a fastball away. 2 outs, no one on. Butler has walked, doubled, and fly to center. Now the right-hander is set to go. There's a strike at the knees. Rogers came on and gave up a single, but really it was a ground ball, and Didi bobbled it, taking out of his glove, and they gave him a hit for, well, I know the reason. Home cooking, they call it. And the pitch to Butler is fouled back. Now the count 1-2. Yankees will send up the bottom of the order. Remember, they do have one big hitter on the bench. They only have 3 players on the bench. Flores is not here yet. But they have Teixeira on the bench, so Joe will use him at the right time. You know, preferably if someone gets on so he can try to tie it. Rogers deals. Foul first base out on it. Count 1-2. 2 outs, no one on. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Oakland with a 4-2 lead. I gather that Lindgren is there for the next batter, Stephen Vogt. Yankees have to hold them at 4. Here is the 1-2. Swung on, hit on the ground to second. Grabbed by Drew, throws to first in time. 3 up, 3 down, end of 7. 4-2 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by
We are back here. And 4-2 in the top of the 8th inning. The A's leading the Yankees. And Sonny Gray will face the bottom of the order, and Stephen Drew, Chris Young, and Didi Gregorius. Andy Perino has taken over for Semien at shortstop, in the first pitch to Stephen Drew's foul back on the left side, 0-1. Andy Perino playing on the second base side. Perino replacing Marcus Semien. Defensive purposes, I would guess. I would know.
And Gray deals. Drew hits a hot shot to first. Grabbed by Vogt. To the bag he goes, 1 away. So Drew hit the ball hard. Here is Chris Young. You know what Joe wants? He needs to hold Teixeira out for someone to get on base. The Yanks down by 2. So he could have had Teixeira hit for Young, and he could have him hit for Didi. But the thing is, he'd like someone to get on base so that he could try to tie it.
Right. Even if he hits home run.
So here is Young with 1 out, no one on, and there's a strike.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by Bigelow Family Tea Blender since 1945. Well, American League, Baltimore beat Tampa 2-1.
Young hits a ground ball, diving stop at third. Laurie's long throw is in time. What a play! He stole a double away from Chris Young. He had a hot shot over the bag. Laurie made a diving backhand stop and then got up and fired an absolute bullet to first. What a play.
He's got a great arm. He's just so athletic, and he uses his body. He's the kind of guy who gets hurt a lot because he goes into the stands. He'll dive for plays, but what an arm on the fly. Great pickup by Vogt. That was not right on target, but close enough, and he stayed on the base.
Wow. So that would have been the man on. And then Teixeira could have come up. So here's Didi with 2 outs.
Texas beat Boston 7-4. It was the White Sox over Houston 5-3. Minnesota lost to Toronto 6-4. Kansas City winning, so that puts them back in first place. Angels beat Detroit 2-0.
Didi takes a pitch inside. The pitch is low. Didi walks. Well, there's a base runner.
Wow.
And here is Gardner. Yankees only have 3 hits. One was a home run by McCann. The next hit was a double by Didi. He went to third on a wild pitch and scored on a Gardner ground ball. And the third hit was a line drive hit by Beltran last inning. And that's the power for the Yankees tonight to this point. The Power Report brought to you by Indian Point Energy Center, the region's most reliable source of electric power. Second walk given up by Gray, and Gardner fouls it back.
Well, Evan Scribner up. We saw him yesterday. Kid from Connecticut.
Go runner at first with 2 outs. And the right-hander deals low. We'll count 1-1.
Just in case Betances is up.
It's 4-2 Oakland. We're in the top of the 8th. With 2 outs, a runner at first. Gardner, of course, the tying run as he stands in. And it'll be a 1-1.
Huh.
Pitch is high, 2-1.
All of a sudden, Sonny Gray losing the strike zone a little bit here.
This will be the 98th pitch for Gray. Now the right-hander is set. And the 2-1. Line hard. There's a base hit to right field. Didi holds at second. So Gardner comes through with a hard single. Don't forget, the first 2 batters hit the ball hard. Drew hit a sizzler on the ground to Vogt, and then Chris Young got robbed of a double. You know what? If Laurie doesn't make that, I don't know if the same things would have happened.
Right.
But Laurie doesn't make that stop and throw, Yankees really in business. So here comes Bob Melvin.
Well, Scribner just started throwing. He's got his hands in his pocket, hands on his hips, talking to Sonny Gray. Probably said, "You okay? Let's go." Speed Report is brought to you by Old Dominion Household Services, self-moving services that deliver. Get a quote at odmove.com for your next move. No stolen bases for either side.
Now here's Chase Headley with the tying runs on base. Didi at second, Gardner at first. They are the tying runs, and Headley's a go-ahead run. It's 4-2 Oakland. We're in the top of the 8th. Headley is 0 for 3, and 2 of the outs were strikeouts. But obviously, Gray is losing something. He's had a lot of trouble this inning. Saved right now by the play of Brett Laurie. Now the right-hander deals foul back. This is simply a line of demarcation. This is the 100th pitch for Gray. And I would gather if he doesn't get Headley, he'll come out of the game. And the pitch cut on him. Hey, he still has something left. That was 95. That was 95 up. That's a tough pitch to hit.
And didn't Bob Melvin look to you like Joe Torre used to when he'd come out and look in the guy's eyes and say, "Can you get this guy?" "Yep." "Then go get him." And came back to him.
Now here's the 0-2 to Headley. Runners lead. And the pitch is grounded to first. Vogt flips to Gray in time. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Now at the end of 7.5. It's 4-2 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Your local Tri-State Audi dealers invite you to experience the uncompromised performance of the Audi A3 today, or visit anytime at TriStateAudiDealers.com. Well, the new pitcher is Jacob Lindgren, and Joe likes what he saw. He's intrigued by Jacob Lindgren. He really was during spring training. He came in, he pitched a couple of innings his first time, did walk 2, did strike out 2, did not give up any hits. And Joe trying to think of, doesn't want to give the kid too much. It was just drafted last year. So you don't want to put too much on him, but I think they're kind of tantalized by him, John, because he has such great stuff and a funky delivery and so many strikeouts in the minor league level.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Here he is in a year. He deals, and Vogt takes a pitch high. I mean, he was pitching in the College World Series less than a year ago, 11 months ago. Yankees trailed 4-2, bottom of the 8th. Oakland scored all 4 of their runs in the 3rd. And the pitch caught on it, missed. The 8th inning brought to you by Kubota Tractors. You can find them at Farm Right Incorporated and Harder Equipment Incorporated.
Well, Tyler Clippard is warming up, and he's the kind of closer right now. Sean Doolittle's been out. He's not fully recovered yet, but he's back.
And there's a strike to Vogt, a left-hand hitter. Steven is 2 for 3 on the night. When you reconstruct the top of the 8th, Brett Laurie really saved them. Pitch is low. If that's a double, it is a double down the line. And then the walk and the single by Gardner, presumably the Yankees would be down 4-3 with 2 on and 1 out. So that's the biggest play of the game. Lindgren will deal 2-2. Pitch fouled off. You know, Susan, one thing we didn't talk about.
What's that?
If they decided to keep Warren in the rotation and put Capuano in the bullpen, I don't think they could do it. You know, they'd have what, 5 lefties in the bullpen? That's kind of an imbalance. Right now, they have, if I'm correct, they have 4. Pitch is fouled off. Let's see, they have Lindgren, Wilson, and Shreve. So they have 3.
And Miller.
I forget Andrew Miller because he closes. That's 4. You're right. So they have 4 now. I don't think they could have 5.
No, probably not.
Unless they play in a league where there's nothing but left-handers. So the pitch is a breaking ball outside.
Well, then you send someone down. Both Lindgren and Shreve have options.
So it'll be a 3-2 to the left-hand hitting Vogt, leading off the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Oakland, and the payoff is grounded foul.
Well, we'll find out what they do on Wednesday, because Tanaka's not going to be activated till then. Doesn't have to be.
Oh, no, you're right. He won't be activated till the day he pitches.
So someone goes away then.
That'll be a payoff now to Vogt. And the pitch is grounded foul outside of first. Rogers did a very good job. An inning and 2/3, no runs, 1 hit. And that 1 hit was an error. 3 strikeouts and no walks. It was a ground ball to short. Didi backhanded it on the edge of the outfield grass. Maybe in his haste to get the ball out to throw, he bobbled it and he had no play. And they called it a hit. Now here's the payoff. Inside and high, ball 4. Vogt is on. The 3rd walk given up by Yankee pitching. The attendance tonight is 23,540. And the game attendance is brought to you by New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks. There's a strike. In the 9th inning, first of all, it's very important for Vogt to hold them for Lindgren to hold them at 4, obviously. And in the 9th inning, the Yankees have the middle of their order up. Brett Laurie is the hitter. And here's the 0-1 from Lindgren. He steps off. So the Yankees will have A-Rod, McCann, and Beltran. And if anyone gets on, then they can have Teixeira. Pitch cut on him. It's not a breaking ball. left-hander deals. Swung on a high drive to deep left. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. For the second night in a row, Brett Lawrie has hit a 2-run home run. And Oakland now has blown it open. They have a 6-2 lead.
That was a shot. There was no doubt about it. Brett Lawrie, he's a very excitable young man. He's yelling all the way around, yelling, "Let's go," to his teammates. He's going to kill these guys. They make throwing his helmet. Very excitable young man. A lot of energy, Brett Lawrie.
There's Josh Reddick. And he hits a little tapper. First base side of the mound. Lindgren fields and flips. And there's one away.
Oh, boy, that was a high pitch, a breaking pitch that didn't do anything. Stayed right in the middle of the plate and stayed up around the letters. That should have been hit. It was. Wow. So on the second deck, John?
No. You know, see where the stairs are? Right in back of that oil sign?
Long way.
It went just over that sign. They hit a long way to left center. Pitch. There's strike. Josh Fegley is a hitter. Well, that kind of defeats having Teixeira come off the bench unless the bases are loaded. And Lindgren deals. Grounded foul off third.
Well, now with that home run, Tyler Clippard has sat down, and Fernando Rodriguez is up.
Pitch grounded foul. So if the Yankees do not have a great comeback in them in the ninth inning, they will have a 1-game lead over Tampa. Tampa lost to Baltimore today. Here's the 0-2. Fastball high, 1-2. Now Lindgren will deal to Fegley. The breaking ball is low. We'll count 2-2. Clippard probably doesn't come in because it's not a save situation. So if you bring in Rodriguez and he puts a man on or two and becomes a save pitch, you can always have Clippard. That ground ball is foul outside of third. Just missed a double. Let's take 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
The Rangers lose to the Lightning 2-0 in Game 7. Tampa advances to the Cup final for the first time since '04. More later on WFAN and WFAN-FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Oakland Coliseum. The A's with a 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the eighth. 1 out, no one on. It'll be a 2-2. Fouled off. And so the count holds at 2-2. And the pitch is swung on, hit in the air to center and deep. Young going back on the track near the wall. It's over his head and off the wall. Kind of short hop the wall. And on to second goes Fegley with a double.
Well, as Joe will say afterwards, this is all about location in this league. And right now, Lindgren is not locating either that fastball or that slider. He stayed up. That's exactly the pitch that Lawrie hit. Stayed up right around the letters.
So a runner at second, one out. And here is Mark Canha, the right-hand hitting left fielder. The 2-run home run by Laurie, that was his 4th home run, second in 2 nights. He has 20 RBIs. And Oakland now has a 6-2 lead. Well, here is Canha. Yankee bullpen is quiet. And Lindgren deals grounded foul at home plate.
Well, you also want to see how a youngster will respond to a little adversity. It's not that easy.
That'll be an 0-1 to Canha. And the pitch swung on and drilled to deep left. It's going to go foul. Home run distance. It went about, about 20 rows back, but foul. Well, the count 0-2.
You can't get that breaking pitch down. And staying up.
Now the left-hander deals, and the breaking ball is low and in. And the count is 1-2 on Canha. There's a runner at second, Josh Fegley, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. 2 runs are in on the home run by Laurie. Now the Yankee bullpen begins, and the Yankees are trailing 6-2.
David Carpenter up.
Pitch, a little pop fly to third. Headley on the outfield grass makes the catch. And they're 2-way, a broken bat. You can hear the break of the bat here. So they're a 2-way, and that will bring up Billy Burns.
I have we have 2 different monitors in this booth. I've got the Oakland thing. They are having so much fun watching Brett Laurie. The whole team is laughing at him. He's got such intensity, and he's running around punching things and punching the air, and they think it's a riot. They're just laughing.
He does have a lot of intensity, no question. Well, 2-way, here's Burns. He's 1 for 4. With Fegley at second, 2 out. Pitch is high. Now the count 1-0.
It's a little different out here. It's a little more laid back.
Yeah, this is California.
This is California, not him, boy. As Joe would say, he plays like Slade Heathcote, he plays every inning like his hair is on fire.
The pitch is low. The first time I ever heard that expression, it was for your friend and mine, Mitch Williams.
Oh, yes.
He pitches like his hair.
Well, that, yeah.
So it'll be a 2-0. And the pitch is high, 3-0. There's a right-hand hitter on deck, so I gather that if Lindgren loses Burns, that Carpenter will come in to try to get the 3rd out of the 8th.
Well, he's already, this is going to be his 30th pitch of this inning. Not what you want.
And the 3-0 is a strike, 3-1 on Semien. I check that on Burns. Fegley is the base runner at second. And the left-hander Jacob Lindgren deals. Hit on the ground. Diving stop at second by Drew. From his knees, throws late. He had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. Made a great stop. Now that is a base hit. So with the base hit, there's first and third, and here comes Joe Girardi.
And this call of the bullpen is brought to you.
Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, WFAN, New York.
Well, as we go to the 9th, Sam Full takes over for Canha in left field. Full, a very good outfielder. And a young right-hander, Fernando Rodriguez, comes on for Oakland. Sonny Gray goes 8 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Obviously, he can win it. He can't lose it. It's a 6-2 ball game, Oakland. We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth. Sunoco, save 5 cents on every gallon instantly with your Sunoco Rewards credit card. Here is A-Rod to lead it off. Here in the 9th inning. It's not a save situation, and that's why Clippard isn't in. It's a 4-run lead. So here is Alex. He is 0 for 3. And Fernando Rodriguez deals, and the pitch a slider outside. Rodriguez is a big right-handed, tall anyway. If 2 men get on base, it'll be a save situation, and then you'll see Clippard. Now here's the 1-0. Cut out of missed. And the count 1-1. Fernando Rodriguez has been in 10 games, a record of 0-1 and an ERA of 5.73. And he's a line drive, base hit, center field for Alex. So A-Rod gives the Yankees a good leadoff start with a single to center. And that will bring up Brian McCann. Rodriguez in 11 innings has given up 9 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks, and 12 strikeouts. So he must throw pretty good. 12 strikeouts in 11 innings. Here's Brian McCann. Beltran will be on deck, and remember the Yankees do have to share on the bench. But now with a 6-2 lead, thanks to Laurie's 2-run home run, you've got to fill the bases up. The pitch to McCann. There is a strike. McCann homered for one of the 2 Yankee runs. Didi hit a double, went to third on a wild pitch, scored on a ground ball for the other run. And the right-hander Rodriguez holds the set high and deals. There's a breaking ball strike. And the count 0-2. (6-2) Oakland. We are in the 9th. A-Rod leads off first. The pitch to McCann struck him out swinging. So there's 1 away. Remember to stay tuned following the game for the Agera Energy Yankees postgame show. Agera Energy, the next generation of energy efficiency, demand management, and retail energy supply. So here's Beltran, who is 1 for 3. Oakland trying to close it out and beat the Yankees for the 2nd time in a row here. And Rodriguez deals outside 1-0. Beltran takes a strike at the knees. And the count 1-1. 3 infielders on the right side for Carlos. A-Rod a short lead, and the pitch is hit on the ground to third. The flip goes to second. That's the only play they have. Now, one thing I do want to say. The Yankees are down by 4 runs. There are 3 infielders on the right side. Now, I know it's much easier up in the broadcast booth than it is down there, but all Beltran has to do is get on. The home run means nothing. Getting on means as much. Anyway, there is two-way. So that's a force out. Beltran safe on the fielder's choice. The force out goes 5-6. So they're a two-way. And here is Garrett Jones. Yankees down to their final out. Jones a lefty hitter, and the fastball's high, 1-0. Now the right-hander is set, and the pitch is hit on the ground up the middle for a base hit, just past the glove of Zobrist. On his way to third is Beltran. So Jones keeps it alive, and here is Drew. Well, and here is Bob Melvin. There are two men on base, so that means it's a save situation. And the Yankees still have Teixeira. Teixeira is on deck. Drew has to get on to continue the game, and then the Yankees would have one shot at tying it. First and third, two men out. Tyler Clippard for a one-out save. The right-handed deals to the left-hand hitting Drew, and the breaking ball is in for a strike. Drew is 0 for 3 on the night. Beltran at third, Jones at first. One thing for Garrett Jones, in the ninth inning of these two games, he's come through. Last night, a pinch hitter, he walked, and tonight with 2 outs, he singled. But Drew has to get on. Well, if he doesn't get on, the game is over. But if he gets on, Teixeira would be the tying run. Now here's the 0-1, and the slider is inside. And the count 1-1. Runners lead at first and third, 2 out in the ninth. 6-2 Oakland. And the right-hander deal swung on a high pop right around the pitcher's mound. Who's going to catch it? Stephen Vogt makes the catch. Ball game over. Oakland wins. So the A's have beaten the Yankees twice in a row. In the ninth inning for the Yanks, no runs, 2 hits. They leave 2. And the final score, Oakland 6 and the Yankees 2. And we'll get back with more in a moment here on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, Oakland defeats the Yankees 6-2. And the big star of this game, you'd think it'd be Sonny Gray. I guess it would be. He's such a great pitcher. But Brett Lawrie made a phenomenal stop and took a double away from the Yanks in the 8th inning, which stopped them from scoring. And then he hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th to blow it open, and Oakland wins it 6-2. Normally, when Susan has the star of the game, that's sponsored by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. On the web at searchmercedes.com. And guess on Yankees postgame will receive a $100 gift card from Maker & Company, maker of the best shirts and other fine apparel for the everyday man who wants to look his best. You can find Maker & Company apparel at Nordstrom and other fine specialty retailers. Shop anytime at makerandcompany.com and receive special offers for all baseball fans at makerandcompany.com/the Yankees Radio Network. And we'll get back with the totals in just a moment. Oakland wins at 6-2 on the WFAN New York Yankees Radio Network, driven by Jeep. Well, before the totals, 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees Radio Network, driven by Jeep.
The Rangers lose a Game 7 at the Garden for the first time ever. The Lightning advance to the Stanley Cup Final. Tony Page follows the Yanks on WFAN and WFAN-FM New York.
Okay, back at the Coliseum in Oakland, here are the totals. For the Yanks, 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, they left 5. For Oakland, 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors, they left 8. Chris Capuano, the loser, 0-3. Sonny Gray, the winner, 6-2. And Tyler Clippard picks up his 6th save. With the loss, the Yankees are 25-24. However, they're in first place in the East because every other team in the division is under 500. So the Yankees are still in first place by a game. And with the victory, Oakland improves to 19-32. The time of the game, 2 hours and 49 minutes. The attendance, 23,540. And once again, the final score, Oakland 6 and the Yankees 2. New York Yankees baseball.